Hello everyone, welcome back to Populous Free the Beginning. And, well, we could continue on our journey, but let's go back to previous levels and also do some fun stuff instead. Well, we're going back to Bloodlust again because, well, I didn't exactly show off this level in the full way that I could have. Mainly because there's a much more offensive way we could do things. And in a much more strategic fighting way, not as the swearing and all that kind of stuff. So, what we're going to be doing is pretty much the same thing that we did in level 14, is by instead not playing with the cards we've been dealt with, instead just getting a new deck entirely, to go with a kind of strange analogy. And since the Matic are right next to us, as they usually tend to be, let us go through and land bridge their faces and preach them all. So it does take a little bit of work to begin with, especially because the wildmen are fairly few between, and also trees are also fairly few between as well. So we need to build somewhere where there's quite a few trees so we can get that done pretty quickly. So this is what we're going to be doing: is we're going to be taking over the Matic portion. So we're very close to the Stonehead, allowing us to access the Bloodlust spell, because we didn't really show it off last time. We only really saw that the Bloodlust Stonehead takes forever and a day to pray at, which is really annoying, but whatever. With a fair few creatures on our side, it's time for us to convert the Matic. Now, they start off with a slightly... I don't remember if they actually start with the settlement themselves, but they don't have too much to begin with, so we'd best get over there quickly. And a kind of interesting thing is that when being attacked and you're low on a certain enemy way, they go and they try and convert the and turn most of their braves into the follower that they're missing. So thankfully I'm going there quick enough to land most of them, but unfortunately the Shaman has got at least about a couple of uses of Swarm because it's been a little while. But that shouldn't be too much of a deal. Big deal. So I think that's the only real two uses of Swarm she uses, which is fine, because they didn't manage to get off too many creatures. But we need to get rid of that enemy Shaman, but we've already got Blast. And she takes quite a few blasts in the face in order to get rid of. And getting hang up against invisible walls of huts, which is rather interesting. And she nearly falls in the water. Oh, that would have made my life so much easier, but unfortunately not. Oh well. So I've just got to weaken her enough. Just got to keep on doing it. And she falls again. She's nearly dead, but I'm running a wee bit low on blast use. And then she goes absolutely flying. Huzzah. There we go. That will give us a few more uses of blast, and also get her out of the way so we can convert the rest of them, because there's just some braves left there now. And it is fairly simple what we need to do. Doesn't take too long. We nearly convert everyone. I think that Fire Warrior is one of the last ones, along with the braves. But of course, as it always happens, preaching takes time, depending on which way the sun rose this morning, and exactly how many bugs you stepped on your way to work. That's how preaching goes, so we'll just kill the Shaman. And I think the fire was the only one left, so and there we go. So after wasting quite a bit of time doing that, it's time for us to actually get our settlement going. Unfortunately, the Matic seems to have nicked quite a few of the trees, so we don't actually have too much left, but we have a much bigger space kind of to work with, and it's not all that bad. And then the Decommunity Shaman just uses that, because we've got a hole in the wall, so they're able to use that. And they attack us as well. The AI does adapt to the, depending on where you are, fairly nicely, but it's not really that big a deal. Anyway, since most of them are, there's only like one creature or so, let's actually convert them. We've got how much? Didn't take too long. And, we didn't even actually convert the Fire Warrior. Unfortunately, everyone keeps on getting hit into the water, which is really annoying. I didn't realise how many Braves that I had lost in that period. Damn it, Braves are annoying. Fire Warriors even more so. Okay, I'm getting a wee bit annihilated here. And that preacher keeps on trying to convert the goddamn people, and I think finally descended the goddamn preachers and wants to take them out. Yeah, I lose a lot of forces in that attack because Fire Warriors just keep on attacking me. Whatever, we managed to convert them. Huzzah. But yeah, we're just gonna start from some small beginnings, build up our scribe. We are going to be quite a bit behind everyone else, but we're always behind everyone else, so it doesn't really actually make a difference. And the Kini Shaman decides she wants to walk back, but so off. And I did kind of want to lightning her, but not a big deal. She gets away just in time. Yeah, Westerly Wabbit. We'll get her eventually, because this is still a really long level, all things considering. And at least the two enemies do attack each other fairly often, so thankfully it's not too bad. They don't tend to go after you just to begin with. And if they do ever do such a thing, then, well, you know, we have Swamp, so makes it fairly pointless. I'm going to start using invisible enemies, which is always annoying. So yeah, we don't really see invisible enemies all that much, aside from when the enemy uses them. And as you can see, they're kind of annoying due to the fact that their forces randomly arise and just start decreasing. It's not very often that the enemy uses invisibility, because invisibility is kind of a terrible spell, but I also, for some bizarre reason, didn't bring my preachers over, and now my entire force is being converted. I didn't exactly have the easiest time with this level, let's be honest. Also very some goddamn spies, but I deal with them eventually. As you can see, this video length isn't too long. It's about half the length of the things normally were for the previous level. But I spent an hour and 40 minutes in this one level alone, just doing this secondary kind of alternate take on things. It doesn't really matter what happens. This level is still really long as hell. I think in this instance, the Kini might have actually sunk the barrier in order to get to us, since the Shaman also comes along. But, well, I lay that down just in case they're trying to do it again, but I never do. They just do it that once and then just give up. It's a little bit weird, but our settlement is a fairly nice size, but we're just getting attacked just every so often. I'm just building up my forces so we can take the Bloodless Stonehead for ourselves. And then they decide to run all the way back, because I'm not really doing anything. The Kini are just getting their asses kicked, and it's rather hilarious, but the Kini just... I'm really rubbish in this level every time. I mean, the first time was me sinking their forces into the sea, but this time I ain't doing a goddamn thing. And also because of how forces work. There's ships passing in the night. It's just two forces just walk right past each other without even attacking. Aye, aye. Aye, indeed. So yeah, the Kini are kind of getting their ass to be here. The Shaman's not really doing much. They're not really doing much. Getting caught on the wires here. So, yes, fairly interesting about how things go, because in the level, everything is fairly random. The attacking force could get through the defenses, it couldn't, it might, who really knows. So, since we're in a nice, easy area, we can finally get ourselves towards the Stonehead. Unfortunately, though, they don't really like that. I just have a little test rewards kind of thing, but it's not until later that the enemy really doesn't really care too much. If there's a tribe that has kind of a, depending on what the guard tower is on the outside, will usually be of how guarded everything is. And as you can see, we're being attacked by the Kini quite a bit because they believe it to be theirs. Which, you know, fine, we'll come back later. But I haven't really talked much about Bloodlust itself. Mainly because it takes forever to pray at that Stonehead. and you only get 4 uses at a time, which for a large attacking force isn't really all too much. And thanks for that, Bikini Shaman. So, honestly, I don't really find... Bloodlust is a really useful spell, but it just takes forever to get any use out of it. Because it just takes so long to pray at, and you only get 4 uses at a time, which, I would prefer if it'd be rechargeable, but it's not really a huge deal. And since the Chimera can only have possession of the stone head, they're going the quickest way, I think, kind of, which also involves going through my tribe, which is rather frustrating. It seems the game just kind of assumes that you're going to be there, because I don't remember the Chimera doing this when the Matic was there. Or maybe I just didn't really pay attention all too much. I'm only noticing because I'm where the Matic were. The good way with this method is that you do have only 2 tribes to contend with for the rest of the game instead of 3. But, as said, the Chimera and the Bikini start off on pretty strong footing and just get stronger from there. So, you're not really missing out on a huge amount. I was never really concerned that the Matic were too strong. But, seems the Stonehead's a bit unguarded at the moment, so, let's get ourselves some Bloodlust uses. But yeah, it just takes forever. So... But we need to soften up the tribes and also make things a little bit easier for us to get through, so even a little party coming to come greet me, so let's go for it. Because, as you know, something. But honestly, there isn't really all that much to say. We've got ourselves some uses of Bloodlust. We're now just going to use them and then take up the remaining 2 tribes. As far as the rest of the level goes, there isn't really too much aside from Bloodlust. It's just a fairly big, empty world. Not that many trees, not many resources. It is quite befitting for a desert planet. And I do like the different aesthetic that it has. But at least because I've been taking so long with my tribe, I've got quite a few spells available. And I've taken back the Stonehead again, because why not? It just seems to change hands. But the enemy will never use Bloodlust. Thankfully, because Bloodlust is actually broken as hell, as we'll soon see. But first we just need to make things a bit weaker. And I'm going to be taking the Bikini a bit more seriously this time around. I'm not going to sink their entire force into the sea. Although they have been having their asses kicked quite a bit this level, it's not really all that bad, honestly. They've recovered. So instead of cheesing it one way, I'm going to cheese it another way, because, well, why not? So technically they go into the sea, again, as they tend to do, but it is quite hilarious as using Firestorm on a big force like that. I don't sink them into the sea, so they still will converge there if you ever get attacked. I'm just having just a bit of fun with all this kind of stuff. And, I've been there already, honestly. And they're going to take the Stonehead, which, yeah, it's not really make a big deal. It just distracts their forces for a bit whilst you get things ready. And this is just getting rid of all the fire warriors, basically. And so, once the Chimera aren't doing anything too worryingly, it's time for us to finally go after them. And this is the mistake that I make. Due to that, Bloodlust itself kind of acts like magical shield with invisibility, in that it affects a small group at one time, and it has a timer. So, of course, me setting it off when I'm nowhere near the enemy tribe I'm trying to get, and also me forgetting the preachers, because I don't know why I forgot the preachers. Means that this isn't really me showing off the spell that great. And getting attacked again. I just get attacked way too often in these levels. It does get kind of obnoxious, especially when you're on levels for too long, because it just goes forever. You know, I always have to stop because an enemy is attacking you. And of course, the enemy attacks you when you're off to invade another tribe. So, gonna get all of our gang together, and now that Bloodlust is nearly worn off, it is time for us to now head towards the Dakini tribe, who haven't really recovered from my thrashing. And you're not going to notice it at the moment, making sure they're not going to do anything funny. But everyone seems to be going around about the same speed. But once they activate combat mode, the warriors and fire warriors seem to speed up quite a bit, don't they? And the house is just eaten in mere seconds. Bloodlust increases the combat capabilities of a force. Warriors become a hell of a lot stronger. Fire warriors fire a hell of a lot faster. And from what I've been read, Bloodlust makes your forces invincible. But I'm not 100% sure on that because I never really saw it was any different. But I imagine it might be. But yeah, it's kind of worn off already, so... A shame that I waited so long in order to get it done, but as you can see, it took things fairly quickly. So most of the Dakini tribe has been pretty much ravaged. I'm going to be showing this off a lot better when we take on the Chimera, but it is a really powerful spell. It's just unfortunate, but it's actually incredibly frustrating in order to obtain and then use. Because, of course, it has a time limit of about a minute or so. And, of course, I'm being attacked with Chimera, why wouldn't I? But... Yes. But, goddamn rest of them. There we go. Finally got the Dakini out of the way. Now there's just the Chimera. Again. And I'm being attacked. And also being attacked. Time to get everyone back. We run our forces, and we're going to pray at the Stonehead quite a bit. I don't know how many uses there are on the Stonehead, but there's quite a few. And also, no swamp. Give the swamp just stay there. It's such a powerful spell. But anyway, it's time for us to actually soften up the Chimera whilst we're here. Since I've got my full arsenal of spells again, and they of course have an absolutely massive settlement that is not really nowhere precedent. I mean, I've actually been playing quite far into the game, mainly because I don't have anything better to do. And also because I like things being a bit far in advance. There has been in a few videos these past few days, mainly because I'm just busy. Not a big deal. But yeah. The enemy tribes really don't get this big for either quite some time or ever really at all. Not in the sense of like taking up an entire screen worth like they do here, because of course there's loads of land everywhere. The AI doesn't really limit itself too much. It does a bit, but it's just rather insane how how big it gets. But they don't really seem all that threatening. They definitely have much bigger attacking forces as the levels go on, definitely. You will be seeing that quite a bit, oh yes. But yeah, we'll just pretty much annihilate most of them, honestly. That's a few uses of Firestorm and Earthquake. That's quite a bit. Anyway, I'm going to be a lot more tactical in this bit by actually using Bloodlust when I'm not too far away from the enemy tribe. And I leave a nice little gift. It's quite interesting the way that the Angel of Death comes at the camera and then comes up. That kind of distracts it from it going and attacking things. So if you leave the camera there, then there's a little bit of trouble of like flying around. I'll sure to show it off. But anyway, the pathing in this game is rather interesting. Due to the fact that because it's such an open landscape, I imagine things aren't 100% perfect. So I have no idea where they're going. Where are they going? It's so confusing. And then just one just randomly just wanders off. I don't get it. But we finally get close enough and separate out everyone else. And then he's just wandering off elsewhere. I don't really get it. Anyway, I get a little bit too close to the tribe, but it's not really a big deal, because we're going to use Bloodlust again, as we're nice and close. And you can see, firing a hell of a lot faster. So, they're going to meet us. We're going to meet them back. And for some bizarre reason, my commands didn't happen. Even though I clicked on it, but whatever. So we're going to see Bloodlust as it properly goes about destroying enemy tribe, and they move quite a lot faster, don't they? Leaving the creatures behind in their dust. Of course, there's no real point in using on creatures because, well, no point. And as you can see, they're slicing through enemies. Look how quickly the shaman dies. It is absolutely ridiculous. Bloodlust is an insanely powerful spell. And I do like using it. It's a shame that it's only in this one level. It is overall the more useful of the temporary spells, but oh well. Also, I have no idea where those guys are going. You know what? I don't really care, honestly. I don't know where the Chimera are going. The pathing in this level is really messed up, and I have no idea why. Oh well. So, we've kind of seen this all before, so let's just skip right to the end, where we just need to get rid of the last of the Chimera. And of course, they've got you swimming around the Stonehead. It's annoying as hell. But, oh well. Now we just got the last couple of them in order to find and annihilate. And we're going after the Shaman finally, so we just need to go out and find them. So that is a different way of doing Bloodlust. It's not too different, it just means that we're able to use Bloodlust a bit more. I do really like Bloodlust as a spell. It's just unfortunate it's a little bit unusable due to how long it takes to obtain, and also because of how short it lasts as well. You don't really notice about Magical Shield and Invisibility because those are fairly defensive spells and rarely used very offensively. But Bloodlust as an offensive spell is really useful, but unfortunately fairly limited. So, there we go. That is me done with Bloodlust forever. Overall, I don't really like this level. It's a bit too big, a bit too barren. And also it's really difficult. Especially considering that level 14 was the last proper level before this, and that was a load of rubbish. But, whatever. It's time for us to go back to normal. See you guys then.